Alright people, it looks like we are ready to roll, so let's switch it over to Boxmeister for a run of Metroid Zero Mission 100%.
Alright, so we're about to get ready to get 100 items, so I want to ask Tech if he's ready on the timer. Okay, then let's get a countdown. We start in 3, 2, 1, go. Ladies and gentlemen, Metroid Zero Mission 100%. We're gonna collect 100 items whilst completing the game. So we have a tough schedule to do in 1.5 hours, so let's get on to it. We first start with a nice, our first item right here on the left, the Morph Ball. Morph Ball allows us to morph into a ball form, which allows us to roll underneath tight spaces, such as this one. Without the item, we wouldn't get very far into the game, about 4 rooms into it. But we're immediately off to the action. We use Morph Ball to get past these items, and we get to casually the first way of the game to explain where you need to go. These statues are all across the game. They point you towards the items you need to complete and give you the progress you need. We only, for this route I'm doing today, we'll only see 2 statues. And definitely not in the right order, because we'll ignore the first one for now. Oops. If you're really fast, you can jump around that ripper there. But it's a bit tight. And wall jumping, such as you see me do here, on one wall is used to gain height quickly. Because, well, it's a skill which is used a lot in Metroid Zero Mission speedrunning. And it allows us to progress quickly through the game. What you see me do is try to keep my jumps as short as possible. Because running on the floor is definitely the fastest form of movement. Well, luckily with armed with the missiles we fight our first mini-boss. It takes 3 missiles to kill. But in the old route we wouldn't wait for the items to spawn, but this time we're gonna pick it up, because it's a bit faster to do so. It's a very recent route development. So now we have Charge Beam, and Charge Beam we can use to great effect in this room here. Because if you spin jump with a fully charged beam, then you do damage to enemies, such as you see me do there. And waiting for the item to spawn also gives you a full missile count, which is very important for the next couple of rooms. Because we need all the missiles we can get. Because here we have the hive room. This room contains 3 hives filled with these nasty bugs. And they're annoying to get by. They take 3 missiles. These hives take 3 missiles and 2 regular beam shots to get by. So with some proper ammo management and some maneuvering, we're able to get by this room very quickly. And we're on a good pace, definitely. So yeah, Brinstar is the biggest reset point for this run, because the movement is really tight, and there are some tricks you can do to make it quicker, but they can be a bit hard, especially for the route that I'm gonna do. Because we're coming up to another major upgrade, the bombs. Bombs are a thing you can use in Morph Ball form in order to bomb out blocks. And the thing is, we use it a lot to pick up items, but we also use it to do a little bit of a route variation here. Because you can do 2 things. You can head back the way we came and head to the next area, basically. Or you can clean the top part of Brinstar already and don't have to do it later. The advantage is that you have an extra E-tank and extra ammo, which makes the next area a little bit more consistent. The downside is that it is a bit technical to get by, because you need to do a trick called double bomb jumping in order for it to be worth it. And double bomb jumping is, well, a variation of single bomb jumping, which you time your bomb jumps in order to gain height. So I'll ask for a little bit of quiet here, because this is a bit of an intense part. So. Okay, that's the first one. It's a bit... The enemy placement here can be a bit nasty if you miss cycles. Nice, got it. Okay, that's the main reason why most starting runners go for the late Brinster cleanup, which is going down and headed the way you came. Because you really need to be on top of your bomb jumps, and minor things can mess you up big time here. And I've only recently starting to become consistent at double bomb jumps. So that's why I thought that for a change I would show off this route variation. And my estimate is more than reasonable enough to cover any mistakes I might make. And the rest of the run is more or less the same, regardless of if you do late Brinstar cleanup or early Brinstar cleanup. Because in late Brinstar you would kill the... You could go to Ridley and crate first before heading to this top part. Oh wow. Diagonal bomb jumping is also a thing you can do. Okay. No! Dang it. I fell down. Okay. Sometimes the enemies can troll you a little bit. Okay, this time we're through. Yeah, in late game, if you do this cleanup late, you have high jump, you have power grip, so those items you can use to climb up way easier than with the bomb jumps. And the routes are roughly the same, have roughly the same length. Although with early Brinstar cleanup, you can skip a few heals you have to do in late Brinstar later, so it is potentially a bit faster if you're performing it well. I made some mistakes, so most of that advantage is already gone, but it's fine, because we're here to show off some movement. Because this game is all about movement and getting through the game as quickly as you can. You notice me unmorphing and morphing in mid-air. The reason I do that is in order to cancel out the bounce you get. Because if you fall in morphal form from too high, you bounce. This is the single biggest hindrance in early Brinstar cleanup. These enemies patterns. Okay, nope. Okay. It can be a bit annoying, because if you miss a bomb jump, you can tend to run into the enemies. So, let's see. Okay, still got it. So now the most difficult part of the early Brinstar variation is done. Because you need to get past those enemies. Now we make our way down, collect the missile tank we normally collect immediately after the bombs for the late Brinstar cleanup. We do that now because we don't get back to this area after this, so we're doing it the quick way: wall jump, morph, collect it, and we should be able to get out before the bomb block spawns again, like there. And now we make our way to Crate and Ridley, as we would normally do for all route variations of 100%. The reason we do the Crate area before the Ridley area is because we want to get the speed booster upgrade for the Ridley area. The reason to do so is because with the speed booster we can clean up the Ridley area on our first visit. And since it's the most far out area, it is way quicker to do Crate first. Okay, I got a bit unlucky with the damage boost there.
We have got time for a quick donation.
Go ahead.
Alright, because we have 54 euros and 32 cents from our very own buddy Cruel, saying, since I couldn't finish my run, might as well help out this way. Thank you very much, Cruel. It is much appreciated. And I'm sorry, buddy.
Nice thing about picking up Charge Beam early is that we can use a few little tricks to make it a slightly faster movement. It's only very minor. The big advantage you can do is after the crate area, actually. So the crate area is where the 100% category really blooms to life. Because we want to collect every item, and if we collect all the items anyway, we might as well, we have to fight a boss that activates the zip lines. And the zip lines make our life a bit easier. You won't have to do nasty things like the acid worm skip in any percent. Which is a trick which I'm really not fond of. Which is also the reason why I run this category, actually. And I like 100% because you collect all the items. So a lot of tricks, technical stuff you need to do. And oh my god. Wall jumps. Okay, my wall jumps are already. Oh, wow. Okay. New plan. Because my wall jumps aren't responding properly, so I'll just bomb jump up a little bit. Normally, when you visit a crate area in a casual playthrough, you would already have power grip by this point, which means you can grab ledges. That little wall jump trick there skips the ball booster cannon, so it saves you a few seconds. Otherwise, you have to fall down, bump the cannon to activate it, wait for it to shoot you all the way up. And that's rather slow, so that wall jump saves a little bit of time. It's a bit tight, but with some practice it's relatively easy to get. So, acid worm. Takes 30 misses to go down, and the fastest way to do so is this way. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's... The nasty thing is that I didn't get any missile drops, and I kind of want to be, would have liked to be on 10 missiles after that fight. Because I want to have 20 missiles for a certain room, and I'm rather short on those missiles. So I might do a little quick farming around. There are some spots where you can farm missiles on enemies. And the nice thing about this game that if you're almost full on health, you're more likely to get missiles, and if you're full on missiles, then you're more likely to get health drops. Game is that's a nice mechanic of the game. It's enemies you tend to drop what you need. No drops there, unfortunately. But this is the farming spot, and luckily farming here is rather quick, at least if I get missile drops. Okay, that's enough. And those diagonal bomb jumps can be a bit hard. You have to do in this area. It can be a bit hard on the beginner. But with some practice there, it's mostly a matter of timing. So with some practice you can get them down rather consistently. And with the zip lines here, you don't have to do any advanced tricks on those blocks I just shot out. Meaning you can just take the zip line and ride it all the way to the left side of the room. This is the room I wanted to have 20 missiles for. No dice for the jump bomb jump. You can do a jump, lay bomb, and then jump in morph ball into it. It's a bit faster. But the setup for this particular room doesn't really agree with me, so I tend to struggle with it a little bit. But it's fine, because we're on our way through this area. All the way down, all the way down we go, because you may wonder why are we going through these areas. Well, our mission is to exterminate all the Metroids and exterminate Mother Brain, but in order to exterminate Metroids and Mother Brain, we need to access Turian, because they're located over there. But to access Durian, we need to defeat her two commanders, Kraid and Ridley. Well, first commander we'll meet very soon, because that's Kraid. You know, the namesake of this area. He's located in this area. Surprise, surprise. Oh. I didn't mean to do that. That's fine. So... Okay, that's the jump bump jump. It's a lot faster than using the ball booster cannons in the ground on the last one. And we have to defeat Kraid and Ridley, and we also want to do as much cleanup as we can for the end game. Because surprise, surprise, there is more gameplay after Mother Brain. Because this game is actually a remake of the original Metroid for the NES. But they added a whole bit of story after the Mother Brain fight, so where you have to escape and collect some new items and that kind of stuff. But I mean, and those upgrades are actually needed to clear out, for example, the raid area. Well, we have to return to this area once more, but it will be a rather quick visit, as you'll see in about, well, in about less than an hour. Oop. Didn't make the jump. So this shot I'm doing here is a bit tight. Now, it's a few frames to shoot and land. As you're falling rather quickly. But luckily it's not too time intensive if you feel it's almost RNG. So, Kraid. Rather happy to see us, and we just need to spam missiles into it. In any percent you would shoot 3 supers into him and he would die within 2 seconds, but I guess this is still alright for 100%. Could have been a little bit quicker, but those claws can get in your way and snipe you off the platform. So it's always it can be a bit tricky. But here's what we came for in this area, the speed booster. Speed booster is puts the speed back into the speedrun, really. Because after running for a little while you start dashing in this red state, going through enemies and some kind of walls. But you can also store this enemy and use it to unleash it into a different direction as a shine spark, like I did there. Straight up. You'll see it in a couple of varieties throughout this run. And it's really one of the bigger tools in the speedrun. It's one of the bigger tools in 100% because a lot of items actually require this shine spark technique in order to obtain them. But you don't want to shine spark everywhere, however, since it has a very low startup and wind down bonking animation. So usually what you want to end your shine spark on is either by charging it or by ending with a jump into something. Because with the jump into something you don't have the bonking animation, and startup and bonking animation are roughly 2 seconds apiece. This cutscene you're seeing here at the end of Kraid, you don't see it in any percent, because in any percent we do the Ridley area before the Kraid area. So by the time you get here in any percent, Ridley's already dead, and it doesn't show this cutscene actually. Because this game was made very flexible by the game developers. They have all kinds of shortcuts to allow you to do complete the game in any order you like. So they accounted for a lot of options. And yeah, this energy tank is always a fun one. Because it's a good place to practice some bomb jumps. Definitely advantageous to have bomb jumps there. So, we're headed up. Nice. Got around the Ripper this time. And don't worry about that missile tank, we're gonna collect it later in a very spectacular fashion. And I almost forgot the big reason why I wanted to pick up Charge Beam early, because we're gonna set up a Shine Spark chain here. 1, 2, Well, that charge there is a bit tight, so fortunately I didn't get it. But what you could do is get fast through and spark all the way from the left to the right. That saves you a little bit of time. Whoa. Struggle, and sometimes every now and then you struggle with the elevators because they can be a bit picky. So Mother Brain is shown in the cutscene and she's having her eye on us, quite literally. We'll see her later. Because we're now in Norfair, and Norfair, well, there's a lot of heat. It brings the heat to this run because there's lava, there's fire enemies, really. And the thing is, it also has heated rooms, and heated rooms you take damage in without a Varia suit. And Varia suit, well, you can pick it up in Brinstar. I could have picked it up in Brinstar during my first visits. However, you get it later in the run for free, so there's no point in going out of your way to pick up that item. So all we need to do is keep on top of our movement options, and we should be able to dash through the heated rooms, get what we need, get out of it, or get through it. Just fine, because as you can see, we already have quite a lot of energy tanks, those red dots you see on the top left of my screen. Metroid Zero Mission also contains a few of these unknown items. I picked up 2 already, one in the crate area and one in here. These get activated later. Come on, I want to get this. There we go. That jump bomb jumps are something I learned rather recently, and I accidentally activated that challenge pack a little bit too early. So I sometimes struggle with a few things. Oh wow, I dropped. Nah. It can happen that you drop a wall jump, and what is usually faster is to recharge your shine spark below. Oh wow. Come on. Get this. There we go. We're taking it a little bit more safe. Because every now and then my wall jumps tend to be finicky. I don't know why. Might be because I'm having a bad day. Or because I have sweaty fingers. It is rather... Wall jumping is can be a bit intense on the fingers, because you have to press away the direction no button away from the wall in order to jump away from the wall, but then you have to get to the wall again to repeat the process. So it's a lot of sliding with the fingers, so you might miss some inputs every now and then. There we go. It's much faster to bomb jump instead of waiting for the platforms to spawn in that room. And doing with the double bomb jumps is definitely the fastest way, so I'm really glad I got that. Remember those rippers that can get in your way? Well, I mean, we'll just blow them out of the way with the super missiles we picked up. I haven't talked about them yet. Super missiles are much stronger than normal missiles. You get them in a little bit more limited supply. But they're absolutely necessary to collect the items on our way to the Ridley area, because that's our next destination, actually. And with the super missiles, we can get more super missiles, but also kill the upcoming bosses more quickly. So, this is where the Shine Spark Fest starts a little bit. Because we're doing, instead of climbing all the way around these pillars here, we can just Shine Spark straight through the wall. So we're collecting we're collecting a good bunch of items here in Norfair. And one of the necessary items we need to collect now actually is the Ice Beam. No, in the older routes we used to pick up Ice Beam after the Ridley area, but since we discovered a certain glitch I'll be showing off in the Ridley area, it's much faster to pick up Ice Beam early. So, Sid, would you like to tell us something about our cause? Or hosts. No hosts. Oh well. This section is all about platforming. Tell something about a good cause, I'd say.
Alright, that's a very good idea, because we are raising money for the Dutch Cancer Society, which is a nationwide organization committed to fight cancer while aiming for more cure and a higher quality of life for those already battling the disease. 95% of your donations will go to the Dutch Cancer Society, and the remaining 5% will help improve BSG with better equipment and all that kind of stuff. So if you feel like supporting our cause and the Dutch Cancer Society, then be sure to donate. Thank you very much.
Thank you for those words, Sid. Upcoming is one of the more extensive heated room setups, where we spark straight through the room and try to collect an item on the way back. The thing is, the item is at one of the top blocks of the room, so if I drop down too much, I'll miss it on the spark out and I'll have to pick it up later. Which is a good 20 seconds slower. But hopefully I'll get it in on the first try. Nice, got it. Because I have to shoot to break out of spin and press A to activate the shine spark. So if you drop too low during all of that, then you tend to be too low to pick up the item. Getting that shine spark here is an actual bonus. It's a bit tight. I'm a bit in doubt whether to. I can't see my health because there's the AV thing in front of it. I should be fine. A little bit of a TV quirk. You can't see it on stream. But I'll have to make do with it. It's fine. That's what the menu screen is for. Okay. Now I need to be a bit more careful. Luckily I got some health. This will, well, if I would have been much better in terms of health, then I could skip the upcoming heal, but I'll definitely be taking the heal here. That also makes it way more consistent, the upcoming part of the run. Because we're picking this screw attack item here. Well, we're picking it up rather early, because casually the game only guides you towards this item after the Ridley area. And it has an extended thing you need to do, etc, etc. But the thing is, if you have missiles and you know where you're going, then you can actually pick it up right here, because you saw me missile it out. Screw attack is a really overpowered item, because if you spin jump into any normal enemy, the normal enemy dies. It's also a bit disadvantageous because it can also break platforms you jump on. Luckily, you can shoot cancel to break out of spin and then you can land normally. This last of the heated rooms, this is usually the part where you might get into health troubles if you choose to skip the heal. However, since I took the heal and since I have an extra E-tank because of the early Brinstar routes, I am fine. This is a rather cakewalk. Yeah, all those enemies can drop you into the lava, which you can take a good bit of damage. Fully healed, you should never be in danger of dying there, to be honest. I will be picking up one more major item in this area. This major area is actually also semi-required. Well, nearly 100% required to clean up the Ridley area. It's the wave beam, needed for a specific setup. You can, however, with an advanced setup, skip the wave beam and pick it up later. And clean up the north area later, actually. However, it's really hard, this late wave beam routes. And I only know one runner who have done the route in its entirety in a real-time setting. So shoutouts to my good buddy Toby. But yeah, it's nobody goes for that stuff because it's RTA wise, it's not as viable as the more conventional routes that pick up wave beam immediately. You notice me charging through the door in order to shoot out that block, because if you don't do that, then you run into the block and have to shoot it out. Have to set up the speed booster and get later. That's a bit slow. So right now we're coming up to a mini-boss. This mini-boss will be fought twice, but not in the exact same form every time. Okay, cool. Oh, I accidentally froze the Ripper. That's nice. Okay, this should work. What my intention was wait for the Ripper to get there, freeze it, jump on top of it, and then kill the remaining vines in one swift go. So, we're into the Ridley area. Not a few minutes of time lost due to my mishaps with the early bit start route, but it's fine. We're still well under estimates. Because, well, the Ridley area, we're gonna fight the next boss, Ridley, which you'll see flying around here. But before we enter the area, we can access the good parts of the area. We need to fight the mini-boss, the cocoon we just fought another time. However, that cocoon has disappeared a little bit, so we're gonna fight it into its more evolved form, the Imago form. And fighting Imago, you want to finish Imago off into the first round, like here. Because otherwise he'll go back to left, you have to go back right, and then it's a rather slow fight. So right now I'm gonna try to set up for a bit of a difficult trick. And I think I got it. Got it! Sort of. What you're supposed to do there is shine spark a little bit higher, and then you can spark quickly all across this room. However, it's not as disadvantageous to miss it. Ooh, that's because you can still pick up the super missiles, because we want to have full super missiles by the time we reach Ridley. Unfortunately, I fell down here. My jump was rarely short of clearing the distance, clearing the gap. So you have to use bomb jumps as a backup. This room, we're gonna do a trick that requires a specific setup. We need to kill that enemy over there, get its drop, so either a health or a missile drop, and then we're gonna freeze the bugs into a very specific pattern, and that's not this pattern. I missed the second one. Right here. Okay, that should work. I freeze two bugs on top of each other and kill them both with a bomb, and that clips me through the floor, because what the game does there, the game tries to put you on top of the other bug, but since the other bug got killed, it gets sent back to its respawn points. And so that means that it tries to clip you through the ground. That clips you through the ground. And that saves us an advanced, lengthy Shine Spark speed booster setup. Now we can get the items here. The items are a bit, the rooms in which these items are contained in the Ridley area are a bit puzzle-like. So you have to do some puzzles, and if you drop down, then it might happen that you actually have to reset the puzzle. And this room is all about shine sparking, really. Because, you know, I'm gonna play around with the charge beam effect here. Because if you have a charge beam charge, you hold it during the shine spark, and you have this nice effect I call the shooting star. And it's a fast way to get through this room. But we have to set up for another Shine Spark because we need to access a couple of other puzzle rooms, a few rooms from here. So I charge a Shine Spark there, recharge it here. And I was rarely short of I was one tile short of clearing it. So that means we have to reset it up. It's fine. I mean, it's pretty easy to do the setup again. Okay, there we go. Got it the second try, that's fine. This room is fun because that purple block layer you see at the bottom are crumble blocks. So if you fall off of these bomb fuse, well, you fall through the floor and you have to reset the room. That's a rather easy puzzle to do. Next puzzle, however, is deceptively tight because you need to make a jump, a speed booster jump, for which you have 4 frames to do so. And this is also where you need to wave beam because you need to shoot out these blocks. And yeah, that can happen. You can either jump too late and then you jump into the blocks, which won't let you pass, or you jump too early and you won't get through the complete thing. And that jump has a 4-frame window to do so. So it's rather tight, and it's the only way to get that item. So even casually, it's a 4-frame window. This room is where Screw Attack is both the blessing and a curse. So it gets you past the side up is really easy, but the platforms break if you spin jump on top of them. Come on. Okay. My wall jumps are not cooperating today. You know what? We're gonna do this a bit more unconventional. Because in one tile with shaft, it's wall jumping is free. You just have to hold it, and jumping out of the lava for some reason isn't really going well. So I decided to do a bit of a backup there. Wall jumps can really mess you up in this game if you can't get them off. However, you can work in 100% since you have collecting all the main upgrades. You can work your way around it for a bit, and I want that super drop actually. Yeah, it's 100% is mostly a matter of developing the muscle memory needed to collect all the items, all 100 of them. And in this game, all major upgrades and all expansions actually count towards the percentage total. So no thing like Fusion where only the expansions count towards the percentage. And I'm now currently at full super missile count. I have 10 super missiles. And the reason I want this is because Ridley is coming up. And the Ridley boss, if you're fighting it in any percent or in 100%, it's both. In any percent you have less super missiles, but the principle still holds. Basically, it's just a matter of not blinking when I engage the boss, because the fight is over in a very short amount of time, I can tell you. Because this game tries to do a bit of a jump scare on you. Don't blink. Basically, spam the supers into Ridley, spam the missiles, and it goes down pretty easily. Don't clap for that, it's easy. It's really easy. And I got 3 super missile drops, and that's nice, because I want to be on full super missiles for the next big area. I thank the guys behind the tech desk for the enthusiasm. Because there are ways, other ways to collect the super missiles. Those owl enemies you see on the top of the screen here. I like it. I like it. Thanks a lot. Those owl enemies have a 75% chance to drop super missiles, so you could encounter 3 of them on the way out, so it's rather easy. Come on, I want to show off this strat. Basically, this strat is known as jumpy jumpy. Because you jump in order to let the bug spawn high, and then you freeze the bug in place in order to use it as a stepping platform. And now I got the remaining 2 super missiles I needed to be on full super missile count. So now we're gonna clean the rest of Brinstar. So we gotta make our way back up. Luckily this shortcut opens after defeating Redley. So we can use a bit more shortcuts, because actually we have screw attack. Normally if you go down and left, then you would get guided towards screw attack by the game. But since we already have screw attack, we can just make our way out and spark all the way to the top of the north area. I use a speed booster jump to get back to the start. And screw attack is really our friend here, because we can just get through all these blocks rather easily. So next we'll be coming up to my favorite trick in the game. We gotta collect the Brinstar Super and another missile tank, I should add. And this is the intended way to collect the Super Missile Tank. And it's really cool, because you need to set up a ball spark. The ball spark is a shine spark in morph ball form. You can do so after you obtain the high jump at the spring ball. But you have to recharge it in this room here. And then we use the ball spark setup here to collect this missile tank. And finally, we spark to the left to collect the Brinstar Super. I love this setup, it's really consistent. And now we can make our way to the item we got pointed to by the first statue, actually. This first statue points you towards one of the most essential items of the game, really. The long beam. And the long beam, well, you see my short beam only having a reach right now. Long beam makes your beam reach all throughout the screen, so that means we have a bit more reach. We don't need it in any percent, we don't pick it up. But it makes our life a bit easier in 100%, and we need to pick it up for the percentage anyway. So, Turian, we defeated Kraid, we defeated Ridley, let's get to Turian. I'm a good bit behind my PB, but that's fine. We're here for enjoyment, and maybe a bit of luck in Turian can actually make my life a little bit better. Because Turian is filled with Mother Brain and the Metroids, the namesake of this game series. Metroids are these enemy-sucking jellyfish-like creatures. If they latch onto you, they suck you completely dry. Your enemy completely dry. We have a lot of energy tanks, but we don't want that to happen. And what we also don't but what we do want to happen is that when we kill them by freezing them and firing a super missile at them, is to drop super missiles. Because super missiles are definitely the fastest way to kill Metroids. But it's RNG if they drop super missiles or not. So far I've gotten 1 drop, so that's kind of nice. I do want a few drops, because that makes the Mother Brain boss a bit easier. So far I'm not really lucky. drop. So that makes my life... Oh, nice. Okay, I got another drop. I do want a few more drops because I want to have 4, but preferably 6 for the other brain boss. Oh, wow, those drops are amazing. Got quite a few drops here. Thank you, game, for listening to me. Preferably, I'd also get a few missiles here. I'll keep it. And as you see, using normal missiles is a bit slow. And I hopefully get a few more drops. And you can bomb. Okay, I got to run into a little bit of trouble with the Metroid, but that's fine. No further super drops, but we're all set for the final boss of the original game. Not of this game, since that's a whole campaign afterwards. But that's fine. Because we need to shoot out these Zaptites, which can be skipped to some extent in any percent. But here we have another brain fight, and first we break the tank. And then it basically 4 missiles, 1 super missile. And a few 4 rounds basically kills Mother Brain. Since her collision doesn't work when she dies, you can charge a shine spark on her body, dying body. So this elevator is where the original game ends. However, we continue. Metroid Zero Mission continues afterwards. Oh. Don't miss the wall jump. Not a flawless escape, but it's good enough. Because well, 2 minutes is easy. In the hard mode, you actually have 1 minute. You would still easily get it in that time using normal equipment. However, if you're running something difficult, such as low percent, you don't have speed booster, so you have to work your way around. So and then you might get a bit tight during the escape sequence. Yeah, we have a bit of story here. Samus takes a power suit off, but she gets ambushed by pirates, and they shoot her ship down. And that means that she crash lands back into Zebus without her power suit, actually. So we only have our energy tanks, and we only have our acrobatic abilities and an emergency pistol. And we have to get our powers back. I would also like to request the audio guy, Mark, to turn the game audio just a little bit down. For me. Thank you very much. This segment without the power suit is a stealth section. We have to dodge the pirates. And we also sometimes call this section Metal Gear Samus, named after Metal Gear Solid. The stealth action espionage series. Yeah, this segment section can be a bit dangerous. We dodge the map, because if you normally walk into that, you pick up the map, which is 10 seconds, and it's a mark of shame in the Zero Mission community, really. Because you can easily, well, kind of easily dodge that map by just jumping over the trigger. You always get, it's hard to avoid detection in the first room, but it's pretty easy to turn off the alarm here. Because after 7 seconds, the alarm turns off automatically and you can continue. And in most cases you want the alarm off, because otherwise these shutters come down which impede your movement. I barely missed triggering the alarm there. It's a rather tight wall jump. And yeah, this section is full of wall jumps, so you really want be on top of your wall jumps in this area. And as you can see, today I'm struggling, so I have to pronounce my wall jumps ever so slightly more. Okay, we're gonna do this a little bit differently, because wall jumps are not cooperating today. Sometimes you have these days where they don't work properly, and today is unfortunately one of those days. Luckily, you can back them up a little bit. In this room, however, they're unavoidable, because we're using a shortcut. So what I'm doing right now is, instead of sliding my thumb, which is the normal way I do it, I am doing it a bit more press-like, which is a bit more consistent, but slightly harder to pull off. Okay, I'm gonna... Okay, I just barely got detected because my wall jumps weren't working, but that's fine. Oh, that actually worked. Right before the alarm triggered again, I turned by the pirate, the alarm turned off, so that's nice. Yeah, wall jumps. Yeah, this section luckily is the last section you need to do wall jumps in. So after this, the run gets a bit easier on me, because I don't have to struggle with the wall jumps, and I can just make my way through the game as quickly as I can. Because, you know, we're dodging these pirates, but we're headed towards these ruins here. And in these ruins, after a bit of platforming and more wall jumping, which is going to be painful, we're going to fight a boss. And after defeating the boss, we get a power suit back. And after that, cleanup really starts in earnest. You guys are gonna love it, because it's gonna be a collectathon in its fullest. And this room is the one that's annoying when your wall jumps aren't working properly, because you tend to drop down in places you don't want to drop down, like here. Oh god. Okay. I want my beam charged in order to stun the pirate there, in order to go for a strat. Fortunately, I missed the shot, so no extended time save here. Luckily, I only need to depend largely on wall jumps a few more times. But really, I'm struggling with them today. So we're gonna make the best of it. Yeah, because we have, if you would do the strats a few rooms ago, you wouldn't need to turn the alarm off here. But going into the safe room turns off the alarm, so it's only a half second time loss, I think. So it's really not too punishing, and it's very specific. This is the last section you really need wall jumps in. Okay, and wall jumping on right walls for some reason is cooperating a lot better today than the left wall jumps are. So, if you ask, can Metroid crawl? Well, she can. This room is just holding the button left. Really not much to it.
Sounds like the perfect time to plug some donation incentives, maybe?
Definitely go ahead while I shoot these patterns here.
Alright, sounds good. Because upcoming later today, we have Phineas and Ferb Right Again Any Percent. And for that, we are still looking for 75 euros for the donation incentive to do all of the tag mini games and show off the backyard glitch. So if you want that to happen, be sure to get your money in before then. That is going to be roughly around 7:45 today. And after that run, we also have Sonic 06, which have the donation incentive to show off the box, which is a pretty cool glitch in that game.
Did someone say box?
The box, yes. You might know a thing or two about boxes. I don't think you know this box, though. But yeah, we're still looking for 50 euros for that particular donation incentive. So if you want that to happen, get your money in for that.
Well, we're right in time for the boss fight, I'd say. This Chozo Ruins test, or we call him Charlie actually, is a matter of shooting 4 symbols when they appear. And if you don't move for the second, third, or fourth symbol, then lightning will strike at you. And we do damage boosts on the second, third, and fourth symbol in order to make the symbols appear quicker on average. This way a symbol isn't appearing, you shoot yourself. And on average this makes symbols appear quicker. Like now. Shoot yourself again, and hopefully... Oh wow, this is really fast so far. Come on. Nice, got it. That was a quick fight. And hopefully I get the glitch here. Yes, got it. These shots will glitch out since we'll get our power suit here. We'll get Varia suit for free. Because for some reason the game gives you the Varia suit here if you haven't collected it yet. And the unknown items activate, and they'll be Plasma Beam, Gravity Suit, and Space Jump. Space Jump allows us to jump indefinitely in air. You saw the glitch shots there, maybe. Gravity Suit allows us to move normally underwater, so also Shine Sparking is a thing. And it also ignores lava damage, which you'll see immediately after this. Well, almost immediately after this, because we're setting up for a Shine Spark chain. A really cleanup has started here. Oh, barely was short of making that platform. Luckily, I can set it up here without too much penalty. Ah! I dropped 1 input. That's fantastic. It'll be fine. Actually, we're going to take it a little bit safe by charging it there. Ow! I bumped into the wall there for some reason. That's fine, because we can set it up again. Gotta take it a bit more, hopefully a bit more safe the upcoming time, because I'm really not on my best type of execution right now, I notice. That's fine. Because we're gonna make it. Because what you normally would do there is recharge the Shine Spark, pick up the item, get back out, recharge it again, and then pick up this item. Dropping inputs in terms of jumps there can be disastrous, and you have to reset set it up all over again. Luckily with Screw Attack, this section is really easy. Because you can just straight up jump through enemies and they die. And Plasma Beam also does wonders, because Plasma Beam does damage for each frame it's inside the enemy. So it's, most of the times it's an insta-kill, especially since we have all the other beams as well. So we're on maximum damage output. You're never gonna get that Shine Spark there. You can charge it, you can fall down and try to get it, but you're usually a few frames short. It's a tool assisted thing only, I think. I almost gotten it once, but then I got hit by the enemy. So really hard to get it going. Luckily with Shine Speed Booster at our disposal again, we can just climb the rooms much easier. This pirate does all the work for me. Because the pirates, the space pirate shots actually shoot out bomb blocks. That's a bit advantageous. A emergency pistol I used in the suitless sequence also shoots out bomb blocks, and in this, in my pirate suit, I actually have to use bombs. So, actually lay bombs in order to clear blocks. Dodge pirate here. Those black pirates can't be hurt by missiles or screw attack. So you just have to beam shoot them. That won't be important until the end of the game. So bear with me for now. We have a bit of a way to go. What I do here is in order to activate work ball robots, and you can shoot the work robot forward. And he walks forward a lot more when you use super missiles. And the reason I switched to super missiles is because we have to refill our power bombs, which we'll be picking up soon. The last major upgrades we'll get. We have to refill our power bombs for the run anyways, because this game doesn't give you a lot of power bombs, so we almost always will be... we have every power bomb we collect, we have planned out, so... We're really tight on ammo management with respect to power bombs. Therefore, since we have to do the refill, each unit of ammo you refill takes a frame. And super missiles are insta kills, so if we use super missiles, we theoretically have the least frames of ammo refilling we need. A little bit of an optimization. Really easy, really preferable since super missiles kill everything in the way. So armed with power bombs, actually the rest of the game reopens to us, because you can't get to Brinstar or the early areas without using power bombs. Unfortunately, there's no way to collect power bombs earlier than that power bomb tank for an RTA setting, I should say. Because there is a tool-assisted speedrun that can collect power bombs early. However, it dies immediately upon doing so, so it can't use those power bombs. So there's absolutely no way to get power bombs early, as far as we would know right now. For the person who actually can find a way to do so in an RTA setting, it would be a real hero for the Zero Mission community. Not gonna lie. So it's a bit of a holy grail, I guess. So right now we run out of our last power bomb, but it's fine because the refill is coming up soon. And I keep on using super missiles here because, yeah, like mentioned before, they're the fastest thing to use. Oh, careful, buddy. You need to stop the warp robot from moving, because otherwise he moves into your way and you can't shoot him forwards quickly. So really slow if that happens. So we're coming up to the refill, and this is a good check to see if I've collected all the items I needed to collect so far. 220 M4 and 10 E-tanks, that sounds about right. So we'll be setting up for a big trick next, because that trick can only be done once. Because you notice that glass tube we've been running through a few times. Well, we're gonna need to charge a shine spark through that glass tube whilst it's breaking after a power bomb. And after that, we can't reset it up again. So, one chance and we got it, I think. Yes. Okay, we got the glass tube E-tank collection. If you fail to keep the shine spark here, you have to reset it from below, and that's really slow. Easily wastes you half a minute. So getting it is a good thing. And I really want to get lucky in this room. Basically, I want to get a power bomb drop. Fortunately, I didn't get one. A power bomb drop can make my life a bit easier a few rooms from now, since I don't have to do a advanced shine spark chain, but can do a shorter one. However, it's not too big of a deal. We'll get it just fine. And the normal one is actually the more visually impressing one to do. So let's get this shine spark going, because it starts in this room. We have to collect a missile tank here, and since we now have gravity suit, it's much faster to collect it now, since we have normal movement underwater. So what quickest way would be is to charge it like this. Open it to the room, recharge it here. These blocks here in the middle, you can break them out if you have an extra power bomb. But we need the power bomb in the next room. So that's why we can't go for that strat. With an extra power bomb drop, we could. Not taking any chances here, by the way. That should do. And this item is really hard to find, actually. Because you need to do a diagonal ball spark. And in a set up in a very specific way. So, it's a really peculiar item to collect. Nice, got the space boost. Space boost is a combination of the speed booster and the space jump. Basically, it's one of the faster forms of movement, since you don't have bonking animation. And it can get you through most walls. And we'll actually have to do it a few more times, and hopefully both of them work out without a hitch. First one we have to do is here in this area, because we're back in Turian, and well, since Mother Brain blew up, it's a bit different in here. But we actually have to collect another item tank here. So let's get to that by doing a space boost. Well, that's almost as good as this gets, landing right on top of it. Yeah, what you usually have to look out for is not going too low with space boost, not going too high with space boost, and not holding any directional buttons during the space boost, because it can happen that you can actually grab the block right next to it and by the power grip, which is really frustrating and a beginner mistake, as referred to by Eagle, I think. Eagle being the current any percent world record holder of this game, and the former world record holder for about 2-3 years straight on 100%. Right now the competition on 100% has increased so much that a couple of others have gotten better times. But this category has been pushed to its limits rather recently. Really cool how a lot has happened the past year on this category. So back in the crate area, we're gonna collect the last few upgrades, because they're faster to collect now. And for this one, you actually need the gravity suit, since we need to get a shine spark going in this asset here. It's a matter of gently tapping the A button in that shaft there to activate the ball spark. And why am I morphing there, I don't know. Activate the zip line, latch onto it, collect the tank. Really easy since we're fully decked out. And we're taking the back exits into this area once more. You can collect this missile tank, you can collect it a little bit earlier than what I'm doing right now. but it's ever so slightly faster to do it right now. This is synergizes with the route rather well. And we use this shortcut to get back into the Norfair area. Crate is clean, Brinstar is clean, Ridley was already clean. So right now, we collect the last few items in the Norfair area. Yeah, I'm way behind my PB in terms of time, but well underestimate. My estimate is a bit high because I got a lot of improvement. I improved a lot on this category in the past year, so it's really fine. For marathons, I'd rather have a bit of a safe estimate. So right now, I'm gonna attempt something that I'm really inconsistent at, but it looks really cool if I manage to pull it off. The space boost. Unfortunately, didn't get it. Because it's faster to use the space boost here in this room. But you can also set up a Shine Spark much earlier. And this is sort of a backup I'm doing here. I just wanted to attempt it at least once, because getting it is really cool. And it doesn't waste you too much time to attempt it. On a PB-based run, I would take it a bit more safe, but for this run, it's fine. And Space Boost is really cool. Cool thing. I could also set up for a Space Boost here, but I'm gonna take it a bit more safe by just going for a normal Shine Spark instead. A Shine Spark in this room is not only a second slower, because a Shine Spark for some reason moves ever so slightly quicker than a Space Boost. And for this room, that room was long enough for it to actually almost make up the difference in the bonking animations and such. So, we're almost done with this area. We only need to collect 2 more items and then Norfair is clean as well. You might have noticed this missile tank earlier. It's the fastest is to collect it now. Or so it would have been until rather recently, because they the world record, the top 4 in 100% zero mission actually developed a slightly new route. A bit of a variation on this route. And it does things in Norfair in a bit of a different order. So, but it's really, really tight and difficult to pull off. So I suggest you watch the run of the world record holder. It's really a work of art, in my personal opinion. Yeah, but right now we should have all the items, and the nice thing about loading from a completed game save is that you have a checklist. The only items we need to collect is 1 more tank in Criteria and rest of the items in Jozodia. So, let's get back to Criteria and finish this run, because we're getting close to the end of the game, really. And you may have noticed that about an hour ago I did something with a Shine Spark chain here. Well, we can do a bit of a variation on that, except that we now have space jump and can skip a step. And then set up to collect this item we're using a ball spark. And the power bomb was to open that door. So now Criteria is clean and Chizodia is next. I notice I have my super still turned on, so I'll switch to this missiles because I want to be conservative with my super missiles. Reason to do so is because we still have the final boss left to fight against. And it's definitely faster to use supers against the final boss. Luckily, the final boss only takes 18 super missiles to go down. So we'll have a maximum of 30 super missiles at the end of this run. So we have plenty to kill him with. But I'd rather be a bit conservative with them. Nasty thing about this area is that we have to collect the power bomb tank, and it's all the way on the one end of the map. A bit of a nice thing is that since it's all the way at one end of the map, it's the item we never ever forget to pick up. Because on occasion runners tend to forget items, you know, you have to collect 100 items and one of them slips your mind, whoops, run invalid, but that item, if you forget that one, then you're not really paying attention. Because you need to do a lengthy journey in order to get that item. I'd rather not have the alarm turned on, but this is fine. Because where is that item located? Well, I can tell you. It's in a bit of an unorthodox spot. It's all the way over here. Now we have to make our way all the way back to the ruins again in order to get remaining items and finally get to the final boss and then get the hell out of here. You may have noticed that we've been to this area before, so we can just run straight through. It's all about movement here. And killing everything that's in your way. Let's see if I can get that task. Get close to the task park again. Nope. Always a few frames short. Really tight. One day I'll get it. And probably won't record it because I'm like that. Trying stuff off stream and not getting it. Getting it off stream. So, last ship is gone. We have there's another item hidden in here. I'm gonna collect it right now. And this basically is trying to catch up to your missile, because Shine Spark moves faster than the missile, as you can see. And if you're really fast, then you actually overtake your missile. Really cool. It doesn't really matter if you do so. It's just a thing you go for. Completely free to go for anyway. But since we don't have the glass tube, we actually have to space jump our way up this room. I tend to kill everything in my way. Fortunately, the space part now is quite the bro he was. And where the final boss is actually located quite close to where we collected the power bombs. However, there are still some items left to collect at the start of the suitless section. So we're gonna make our way over there first. Get the last item near the final boss and then we're done. Then fight final boss, escape, we're done. That was like a good plan, and we're still easily gonna get underestimates. Yeah, you can do a ton of fun stuff here to set up, doing loopings, setting up the power bomb that way such that you can keep rolling through. Here I need to pay attention because we have to dodge the map again, because that map can really snipe you, and I messed up the normal strat, but this backup is fine. Activate supers. Shoot out that door, and we're almost done collecting all the items. Because right here is the final power bomb tank, and after this we only have one more item to collect. Just checking. Yes, one more E-tank to go. And that E-tank, like I said, is located right next to the final boss. I'm gonna try to attempt the quick way of getting it. Also a rather intense way of getting it. If I won't get it, I'll go for the safer backup. I have plenty of time to at least do 1 or 2 attempts of it, but we'll see. We'll see if I can, if I'll be able to do it. Because you need the trick is set up in quite a peculiar way. Because you need to do a speed jump in order to break the blocks in the floor, and after that you can set. The slow way and the consistent way is to set up a shine spark and spark between the trip wires. However, the fast way is to space jump between the trip wires because you don't need to set up the shine spark, etc, etc. However, the space to space jump in between is a bit tight. And it's rather easy to drop either too low or to go too high. And basically you have to reset the room, because you have to reset the room if you get detected. Because a corridor will otherwise be, a shutter will otherwise be blocking the energy tank. So this is the room, what it's all about. So first of all we're gonna have to break the blocks. That's rather easy to do so, but now. Steeped a bit too low. And as you can see on the right, immediately the shutter goes down. And I actually have to get out, despawn the alarm and then try it again. So I'm gonna try it one more time, because I was really close to it. Stooped a bit too low. I'll give it 2 more tries and then I'll do it this safe and consistent way. So hopefully I'll get it in on the 3rd try. Yeah, that can happen. It can happen that you space jump too high and get on top of those. So one more attempt of the fast way, and then we'll do it the slow way. We have plenty of time. Okay, slow way it is. And the slow way is also a cool way, but I'd rather have the difficult way because it's faster, but eh. Okay, and now this is the reason why the other one is slower, because you have to reset this shine spark here. Then don't be like me and shine spark too high. Luckily I could back it up. Never managed to back that up actually. That's cool. Okay, now I'm just fooling around. Don't be like me. Do you practice your tricks properly? And now we have the last item. Took me way too long to get this, really. So we're gonna get to the final boss, and luckily the final boss is right right behind this missile door. And for the final boss, well, I need to get this movement properly, basically. Except we do that with super missiles. And this is always the opportunity to practice, because we need to hit that spot there. And this is also a check to see if I got 100%. There we go. got a few supers to spare. Those will help us during the escape, because yes, we have an escape sequence. It's lovely. Late power bomb, just slightly too early. I want to advise Tech guy to get ready on time in about a minute or so, because this run will be over once I get into the ship. But of course, we have one more trick left to do. It's a cool one, and it shouldn't be too hard to do. Because this ship is exploding and we'll be stealing one of their escape pods in order to get out. But in order to reach that space pod a bit more quickly, we'll set up a Shine Spark chain. And it's gonna happen in this room here. We need to start it from this room, and we need to keep it after this room, because the door's close behind us. We can't get back further into the ship, so my setup needs to work from here on out. So let's go for it. Okay, we got it. So this ball spark gets you all the way to the last room. That's convenient. And now we have this black space pirates I was talking about. You have to shoot them out. So we're just spamming shots. And sure, okay, get ready. Time. Whew. 1:26:13. I was definitely choking out there, but still underestimate, so I'm happy. And well, I can check the in-game time here, because the in-game timer stops about 1 or 2 in-game time seconds after this. It's a 1:04. Because the in-game timer stops as that cutscene ends, actually. So I figured I'd check, because well, we were still slightly behind schedule, so I figure we go immediately over. So I want to thank you all for watching. I want to give shout-outs to the Zero Mission community and the Metroid Fusion community. Check out our Discord. You can find links to Discords on speedrunner.com, or message me personally. I'm thankful to BSG for having me here, and I want to give it over to the guys behind the tech desk.
Thank you very much, Boxmeister, for that lovely run of Metroid Zero Mission 100%. That was a lovely underestimate run, I gotta say. Good job. Woo! Alright, so right now we're going to be setting up for the next game, Portal Stories Mel, but first we are also going to be going into an ad break, so see you after the ad break.